돼.
You've got to press it on you. You just think it, that's what you do,
baby. Hold it down, yeah.
Jump with the moment, move it. Jump back and forth and feel like you let yourself work it out. You've got to press it on you. You just think it, that's what you do,
Baby, hold it down there. Jump with the ball and move it. Jump back and forth and feel like you let yourself work it out.
I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long, the future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long, the future is coming on. It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Nah, I couldn't be there. Nah, you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare. Intangible, bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view, look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose, all you different crews. Chicks and dudes who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe spiritual hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to those, the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on the hype shit. You like it? Gun smoke, you're righteous with one toke. You're psychic among no possess you with one go.
I'm happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long, the future is coming on. Ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long, the future is coming on. It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
The essence, the basics, without it you make it. Allow me to make this childlike in nature. Rhythm, you have it or you don't, that's a fallacy, I'm in them. Every sprouting tree, every child of peace, every cloud and sea. You see with your eyes and see destruction and demise. Corruption in the skies from this fucking enterprise. Now I'm sucked into your lives through rust, so not his muscles, but percussion he provides. With me as a guide, y'all can see me now cause you don't see with your eye. You perceive with your mind, that's the inner. So I'ma stick around with Russ and be a mentor. Bust a few rhymes so motherfuckers remember what the thought is. I brought all this so you can survive when law is lawless. Feeling sensations that you thought was dead. No squealing, remember that it's all in your head.
I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long, the future is coming on. Ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long, my future is coming on. It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. My future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. My future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. My
Ow. Oh my god. Oh. Ew. Ooh. Ew. All I've heard is that the game has very questionable performance. So, I mean, we could take a look at the reviews on Steam. I haven't read any of them, but I'm just gonna assume that they're all kind of the same thing. Do 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 do. Hold on, one moment. Un momento, por favor. Do 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 do. Bow 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 dum ba 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 ba. So if we go here. Ooh, this was at like 30% last time I checked. It's worse now. Yeah, it's None of my friends can get the game to start past the main menu. When you quit and restart, it does close to the original instance and still uses full memory. It doesn't matter how good the game is. AAA devs deserve low reviews on the game until they learn to release working titles. The new GPU crashes the game. So the 50 series is crashing the game off the rip. That's... Oh, God. Turbo optimization, another Unreal Engine 5 casualty. Not worth buying it in current state unless you have a NASA PC. I could understand where some people come forward with that. I mean, you know, well, unless you have like a 40 series card, then I guess you're fine. But I don't know what the 50 series. Was there even drivers updates today? No, I don't even have a drive. Well, I guess it's probably just for that specific graphics card, huh? Yeah, I mean, a lot of games definitely get pushed out and with terrible optimization, and they just fix it later down the line. It's kind of like been like a normal thing in the industry recently. I'm not gonna lie. People just putting out half-ass games, and then they update it as the life of it goes, and then it progressively becomes better. Then you can play it properly. But you know, I can understand the anger that people are feeling right now because, wait, this guy received the product for free? oh, well, at least he's honest. Holy shit. It actually exposes if you receive the game for free. Holy shit. I don't know who did that. Huh. Let's see what he has to say. I've been a Borderlands fan for years. The chaos, the humor, the endless loot grind. It's always been out about fun first, never too serious. But Borderlands 4, it feels like Gearbox got dazzled by Unreal Engine 5, slapped on a $70 price tag, and forgot the part where the game is supposed to actually run. Randy Pitchford said fans should have realistic expectations, but if realistic expectations mean paying $70 for a stutter-ridden mess that crashes every few minutes and wrapped in de novo DRM. I don't know what that means. That's something to do with computers. Something to do with that tanks performance even further. Then no thanks. That's not realism. That's laziness dressed up as ambition. The stutters are constant. The crashes are brutal. Kernel level they have a kernel level anti-cheat in this game. Are we serious right now? I guess for like solo player games, then I think there's been, I think cheaters can hack into your solo games. I think that's been a thing for a while now. So I guess that kind of makes sense why that's in here. Anti-cheat and DRM. I realize that's lazy, but in addition, the stutters are constant, crashes are brutal, and it feels like the game fights you harder than the bosses do. Every firefight turns into a slideshow. Every new area feels like a gamble. whether the game will hold together or not for a series built on fast, frantic chaos. It's painful when the biggest challenge is just keeping the game from breaking. I mean, I remember when I had Borderlands 3, the game was absolutely fucking awful on launch. Like, the optimization was terrible. It was bad. It was really bad. I had to, like, go into, like, the specific NVIDIA settings and crank everything down to, like, the lowest possibility. I had to play on a stretched resolution to get more FPS. But maybe that's just because my computer is fucking awful. I don't know. I mean, the stuff over the time will just get fixed. I mean, they should be able to fix this within like a week, right? Optimization. I don't think that's like a big ask, is it? This should be something that takes them like a whole month. If you want above 60 FPS 1080p, then do at ooh, yeah, I don't have that. I've got a 2070 Super. So basically what they're telling me is just to not buy this game until they fix the optimization properly, right? Since February 28th. Yeah. I don't know, I mean, they're different companies, right? I feel like Borderlands 3, it fixed their optimization at like a decent pace, if I remember correctly. They already gave out a 2.7 GB update. Feels like Borderlands 2 again. Oh, that's this is a good sign right here. If it feels like their best game in the series, then this is gonna be a banger now. Side quest, side up quest, blah blah blah. The minimum is 2060 GPU. I mean, yeah, it could be the minimum, but does it work good? I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't bought the game. All I know is that it's possibly been review bombed by 2,600 people. Neither of these 2,000 people are all on like the worst systems possible, or there actually is just not that great of an optimization. Dude, this game, the game got rinsed like that as soon as it came up on the shop. It was within like a couple minutes these started popping up. I mean, it probably wasn't a review bomb, yeah, but I mean, like, it's clearly a problem. Like, can't you see people's like specs if you hover over their account on the reviews? No. I could have sworn you could have seen like their specs somewhere. YouTube question mark? Why are you saying YouTube question mark? But you can see they're are they playing it right now? They are. They're playing it right. They're playing it right now. Oh yeah, we're duo streaming, my friend. Yes, yes. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the conjoined chat. Hold on. Now I can see both. Have you bought the... Okay, you probably haven't bought the game. I was about to say, what graphics card do you have, Pookie? $4070 Ti. They apparently already had a 2.5 gigabyte update that could have possibly fixed some optimizations. Buy right now. Yeah, let me get on that. Guy thinks I got $70 in my pocket. That's crazy. How about you buy it and then you be our guinea pig? Don't do that. Don't miss dip. Ow. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that went down the wrong pipe. Holy. Okay, he needs it. Oh, just for it to run in 20 FPS on my game? I don't know about that. That kind of sounds like a bad idea. I don't know. I remember Borderlands 3 having optimization issues in the beginning too, and it was awful. Were you playing with me during Borderlands 3 when it came out? I think you skipped the launch of that game too, didn't you? Because I don't remember playing with you. I remember playing by myself. Because no one else would buy it. And he's gone. He's not even gonna say anything. Okay, so there he is. Okay, okay. Yeah, you didn't play on launch. I think that was just a me thing. I think you had the same skepticism that you have now. I think. Fuck, man. She ain't got money. Or were you not getting? When did Borderlands 3 come out? Hold on. When did BL3 come out? September 13th, 2019. Holy shit, that was so far back. Was that when you were joining the military? Okay, yeah, no, that probably was. Yeah. Yeah, that's Steam release. This is the original release on Epic was September 13th. 2019. So it took them a whole ass year to get on Steam. Oh yeah, that whole toxic thing. I remember. Let me ask my brother if he got Borderlands 4, because I think he was getting like a free code from one of his friends. Dude, I don't know what the hell to play, man. I feel like gaming right now is just a fucking slog. It's so blah. I don't feel like playing anything. Not even games I can't buy. Among Us? What the hell? If we're playing anything related to Among Us, we're gonna be playing that game that I bought a long ass time ago that people were supposed to buy and play and never did. Where is it? This fucking game. It's like $10. But we're not gonna play right now. I don't think we have people to play right now. This would have to be a planning game. This is a plan and go game. Why are you saying peak? Why do you want to play peak? We've played so much peak in like the last like 2 months. Like so much peak. No, I don't want to play Deadlock. I hate Deadlock. I don't like MOBAs, man. Yeah, a lot of things were said and never came to fruition. Borderlands 4, buy me the game. Borderlands 2. Ooh, even my brother's saying it's not running good on his computer, and I know he has a decent computer. Holy. Go on Twitter. Why? I do not want to scroll Twitter. That sounds awful. This man's trying to bait me into seeing like the most chaotic bullshit between left and rightists fighting all over Twitter. I think I'm all right. I'm good. It's a complex. I had a video we could watch, but it's mainly just about classic World of Warcraft. So, listen, I keep forgetting to get rid of that. Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of that real quick. Just give me a second. Let me log into my fucking Stream Elements thing. Let me cut it out. Hold on. Shoween element. Dashboard. Let's see if I remember how to use this properly, because I don't think I do. Timers. It's not on timers. It's not on. Nope. 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 Not that either. What? What? Honestly, streaming mindset, bro. I can't even bother. I just nope. Just be yourself and play games, right? That's what works the best, isn't it? Where is the setting for this? Why am I so stupid? That is not what I meant to click. Like, you think it'd be under chatbot, no? It's definitely not here. Your mom is a chatbot. That is no. No. My mother is not a chatbot. My mother is my mother. Okay? Let's just get this straight. That's not no. There's nothing to do with pickles with my mother. There's nothing to do with loving my mother. You guys don't get to love my mother. I get to love my mother, not you. Okay? What? Yes, doggy? What do you want? I've got my dog eyeballing me for some reason right now. Yes. Yes. What do you need from me, pepperoni? I guess so, huh? That's not alien isolation. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. You're so cute. Yes, you are. Hello. Hello. Listen, we'll eventually get back to the alien isolation. I'm just not feeling a horror game right now, okay? I'm feeling like very what's the word? Bored of video games, I guess you could put in terms. I don't know why. Hold on, I'm trying to get a fan on, and now my dog's leaving. Bye. Dude, like gaming right now is so stale and dull to me. They took away the only thing I was playing at the time, which was Season of Discovery, which I guess is for a good reason. But they replaced it with Mop and tried to force everybody to play Mop. And nobody, I'm not over that! No, I'm not over that! I'm still upset! Very upset! That was the best time I had playing WoW in decades, man! The best time! Listen, I knew it wasn't going to be permanent, but I thought it would at least drag on for longer than I thought it would. I didn't think they were going to do Mop. What? Why are you mad at me? You've got like a billion jamillion mods. You have Angriff in there. I always stream Thursdays. What do you want me to start after you're done streaming on Thursday? And that's at like, bro, I would be streaming at like 12 p.m. I can't believe the audacity. Yeah, well, get used to it, motherfucker. Because Thursdays I do this. This is Thursday. It is Thursday right now. Thursday right now, here and there. What date is it? It is the 11th. Ooh. September 11th. Ooh. Rest in peace to all the people that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm not over SOD. I'm still upset about that. Like wholeheartedly, 100%. Full of cock and ball torture. Oh god, my nuts! No, my nuts! My nuts! I don't want to torture my balls. Why would I want to do that? It doesn't even sound pleasing whatsoever. I'm not into pain. I have the opposite. I don't like pain. I hate pain. I don't really understand the ecstasy those people get if they do like cock and ball torture, because it makes no sense. So yeah, I couldn't even understand. So yeah, nope. I keep getting thrown off the train when I was speaking up. Fuck, what was I talking about? Now I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, right. Imagine it, dude. Like you were in Season of Discovery. You were raiding with the boys on Wednesday night. It was a one night clear, and then all of a sudden you get hit with a blue post saying, "Hey, guess what? There's no more content for Season of Discovery. You could absolutely go fuck yourself. Kill the first boss. Get a boost for Mist of Panda Land." and go play that. There's nothing else for you. There's nothing. There's nothing for you to do. You don't even get at least like a transfer to a Classic Anniversary or a boost to Classic Anniversary. Yes, it lasted as long as an expansion. I understand. I get it. But there was nothing better at the time for them to be doing. I think them wasting their time balancing MOP is definitely, yeah, what I just said, wasting their time. Have we seen the WoW numbers on that? Like, dude, Ironforge Pro. Like, the numbers are screwed for MOP. It's so bad. It somehow has not even beaten Kata's peak on launch. This right here is Classic 2019. Classic 2019. PBC. Wrath of the Lich King. Dissolve Wrath. And then Cataclysm. Here we are. Cataclysm at the top peak was around, what is it at? 300,000 people. And then we go to MOP. And we're here at like 150. I mean, that's still not bad, but like, now it's at 200,000 consistently. Do we really think people want to play Warlords of Draenor? Like, is this worth continuing the progression of the so-called quote-unquote classic expansions? Because I honest to God don't even think you can consider Mists of Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor, and Legion a classic expansion, because they all three of them feel like just a worse version of Retail WoW. Like, if you're playing these versions of the game, just go play Retail. Retail's better. At least in my eyes, it is. I don't see the point in continuing to WoD. Maybe Legion. If they skip WoD and just do Legion and then cut it there, maybe. I would honest to God hope they're working on Classic Plus, because I don't know. We don't know. We've literally been in the dark on communications. Can't wait for BFA Classic. I don't want that. I played through that and it was fucking horrible. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear Brand Bronzebeard come up their asshole and saying, "Would you look at that, champion? You got some ass on it." You didn't miss much. You really didn't. I remember like the gear being so annoying because it had like this weird, like, it was like 3 tiers of like talents you could pick for your gear, and they would all do something different. It just, I don't know. It didn't stick with me. It was bad. It was very bad. Poorly implemented. It was so bad. I remember it being so toxic for specific classes because someone would obviously take that loot not knowing, oh, well, that piece of loot has my specific traits and I need that for my spec, so why are you rolling need on it? It's like, because it's plate and it's got strength and it's better than what I'm wearing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, they're fully aware that the game is just, you know, getting their hand held by add-ons right now, which is what they're trying to fix. Slowly. They're slowly taking off the band-aid. They don't want to just full force that shit and just rip off all your hair, right? They're trying to slowly feed that to people. I don't think it's too late. I don't think at any point it's too late to get rid of add-ons. I think as long as you keep like add-ons that customize your UI or whatever you want to make it look like is fine. Like weak auras tracking stuff, whatever. That's fine. Just not, don't make fights that are revolving around you need to tracking things like that. You don't need it. Just stop making fights like that. Make them intuitive. People can actually see things, and you don't have to read through like a whole paragraph in a fucking dungeon. Like reading through nobody reads the dungeon journal. How many people do you think actually read that dungeon journal? I think like 5%. I do. Okay, well then I guess you might be the small minority. I don't know. I didn't go to a YouTube video and watch a video. Isn't it not faster to just get your fight explained by a YouTube video? Like even M plus is another retarded cesspool of people only looking at parse. Yeah, no, I mean like parsing is definitely the only way to like look at people's metrics to like gauge how they're gonna perform in your run. So I don't know. I mean, like that's just like how people play the game nowadays. And you kind of have control over if you're playing in that environment or not. So I mean, all the people that complain about stuff like that, oh, parsing culture, join a guild that doesn't give a shit about it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Play with people that don't give a shit about it. Because you can. There are people out there that don't care about the parsing culture and don't look at parses. They just bring you in because you're a body. And they want to talk to you for, you being a person. They want to play the game with a person. Not everybody wants to speed run and get high parses. That's all I'm gonna say. But what I was saying about Blizzard right now, Blizzard is like hardcore for now. There are real people? Yeah, there's real people playing World of Warcraft. What? I wonder if I can find that video of like, what was it? Season of Discovery Stockades bots. My God, look at this. Dude, I remember during the first phase of SOD, there was just a line of bots like early at like 5 a.m. in the morning when the server's fresh dead, nobody's playing because everybody's sleeping, and there's just a giant line of bots going into farm stockades. I promise you, there's people playing the game. Holy shit, man! Oh, dude, this was a like a rare sight to be spotted when playing the game. I'm not gonna lie. More rare than watching somebody walk into a tree and then fly in the air. Oh boy. Anyone have any more images? Any others? No, just people complaining. And like, if we're like, listen, if we're honestly talking about like botting and cheating, what do you guys honestly think that there is an effective way to keep these people from botting? Like, think about it. Like, these people do this because it's their livelihood, it's their job, it's how they make money, it's how they put food on the table. Do we not like just like assume that they're gonna like keep developing the programs that work and do this stuff for them to be working around whatever Blizzard makes to to defend against this or to fight against this? Like, do we just think that it's just always that it's just Blizzard doing nothing? Oh, I remember that. I remember running into walls. I honestly did that during hardcore. I also did that during 2019, so I wouldn't get booted offline, so I could keep playing. I gotta go to work for a couple hours, so I'm gonna run into a wall, even though that didn't work. Because you would come home and you'd still be disconnected. But back to what I was saying. I feel like fighting against bots is just always going to be a uphill battle. It's like fucking developers fighting against cheaters, like on like Counter-Strike. There's always going to be a new defense against cheating, and then those cheaters are always going to keep developing their cheat systems to work around it. Always. It's just going to be back and forth. I don't think there's ever actually going to be an end to this. Ever. Like cheating has grown in popularity since I don't even remember when it was like made. I don't know. I have no idea. All your mods hate you. That's the biggest lie I have ever heard. What are you going on about? Where's Angriff? Don't you have Angriff in there? Why are we getting mad at me, man? I'm just chilling, talking about the game, dog. I'm pretty sure people are just lurking me. That I'm just talking to myself. Angriff is indeed there. Okay, so I mean, you got Angriff. He's there the whole time. He doesn't come in here unless she's, not streaming. But yeah, back to what I mean. Like, Dylan, what do you think, Dylan? Floods? What the fuck? Hey man, I'm gonna need you to relax for a moment, okay? Just relax. Wait, who are you question marking? Her or me? You question marking me or her? Both at this point. I don't know. I feel like being spicy. I'm bored. Ah! Aren't you raiding? What do you mean you're fucking bored? You want to have e-drama with me. Okay. Do you think there is an effective fix to holding off bots in Classic WoW? Since I'm withholding my mom. Bro, I'm not withholding anything. It sounds like you should quit raiding. Bro, I honestly, like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you raid that raid more than once, because I went in there. Like, don't get me wrong. The raid is fine design-wise and whatever, but it's just not my thing, and I got bored so quick. I got so bored. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I feel like these raids that they're making now are just so not World of Warcraft-esque. It's not grounded. It just feels weird to be in that raid, and I don't like it. That's just like a me thing, I guess. They can't even fix their DDoS issues. Has any company actually effectively fought off a DDoS attack for like their games launching? If they do get attacked? Because I don't think every game gets attacked, right? At least I would assume not every game gets attacked. Really? Can you give me an example? Bit of improvements to fend off a smaller scale DDoS attacks. Okay, well, I mean, I would assume the game has that for small scale, but how do we tell if like the scale of that DDoS attack was large or not when it was happening? Because I'm pretty sure it might have been a large attack because they were effectively trying to kill that streamer group like 100%. They wanted those people dead. Yeah, everything's running off the same server. Yeah. I mean, is that like really their fault? Yeah, no, they're definitely all on one server, which is kind of bad. They should probably cough up some cash to fix that. But back to the question I was asking. Do you think they could fix botting? Do you think if they hired real in-game GMs, fix that. So you would have like one shift of GMs and then another shift would come in. So it'd be like full on the time 24-hour clock of GMs that are watching the world. Maybe if you separate their jobs, maybe if like ones that respond to tickets and ones that, or maybe you don't even need ones that respond to tickets anymore because they already have a bot that does that for them. How can you tell who was botting now? Well, botting did exist, yeah. I honestly don't know because I don't know how far the botting programs have come to make themselves appear like a real player. Anyone botting dungeons is almost safe. I mean, you could technically tell by the names, right? Like, look at these names. Like, they're so out of place and strange. I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. No, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is impossible to completely, like, keep botting dead. And everybody, like, makes, like, oh, Turtle Wow does it. Dude, Turtle Wow has no bots on that game. There's no bots on Turtle Wow. Have they maybe ever thought that, there's not enough population on that game to make a good amount of money? So that's why they're not there. They're on anniversary where there's like 100,000 people playing it. That's where the money is. Yeah, and then Turtle Wow has those same services to where you can just like pay for things. Yeah, I don't understand why people make that argument. It makes no sense to me. How are we making this argument that Turtle Wow has no bots when their population is probably a max of like 4,000 players concurrently online? Maybe slightly more than that. Maybe it reaches 10K. It's like botting on WoW isn't a state where they cannot fix it. It's like botting on Diablo 2. It will never go away. Yeah, and I think that's just like the harsh reality. People are just not educated, honestly. Like, they're just not. They just think botting will magically disappear if Blizzard keeps doing whatever they do, or if they do something, I guess. Even though I'm pretty sure they are doing something. I'm pretty sure they have like monthly bans, don't they? And then those bot accounts end up coming back anyway on a different account. And I don't know if Blizzard's bans are actually IP bans. Are they IP bans? I would assume so, right? Because I think everybody does IP bans about this, right? So I actually have like zero clue on that. I have no idea. I know IP bans mean nothing because there's a workaround for that, but I'm just asking. Machine bans is what they should do. You're not wrong. I don't know if there's a workaround for that. So what does a machine ban effectively do exactly? How does that work? There's not outside of a full formatting. Full format. Okay, maybe I need to like watch a video on hardware banning and see what they have to say about it, because I have no clue about any of that stuff. I remember watching like a video about kernel anti-cheats not really being that good, and people get around them on Valorant all the time, and there's actually secretly just people cheating 24/7 on that game. Maybe that was also bullshit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think people are just not educated on the way these security systems work for games, and underestimating the people that make the systems to get around those defenses, and how much money they actually make off of doing it. So they can effectively kind of get rid of it by obviously the WoW coin and banning GDKPs. Have them call pirate software, you'll find the solution. Oh god. Oh man. How do you feel about GDKPs? To place more rocks around the maps. I actually remember that being like a thing they did to fight against bots back in the day. That's so funny. They would see bots are like running in like straight lines and then plant rocks just to throw them off, and to see that they're actually bots by doing that. Thoughts on GDKPs though? Thoughts? GDKPs? Thoughts? Thoughts? Do you hate them or do you love them? You don't know GDKP? Oh, you're not a raider. I forget about that all the time. You're not a raider. Okay, so you're raiding, right? And this is a system that pretty much abuses people that buy gold, essentially whales. It's basically you're bidding gold for a piece of loot. Is essentially what it is. So you're effectively, yeah, you're bidding gold for loot, and obviously these so basically you'll never get gear. But no, at the end, this is like the justification for people is you get a cut of the pot of gold at the end. So every bid essentially goes into a pot for the end, and it will be divvied up for all the raiders in the raid at the end. You'll get like a cut, like a percentage cut. And they were banned for SOD, and they're banned right now on Anniversary, and people are asking for it to come back. And they're not banned on Mists of Pandaria right now. And I know somebody that did GDKPs the entire time, starting from TBC all the way up until now. He has 9 characters full gold capped on MOP. 9 characters full gold cap. So that man right there has like he actually, I don't know how much the WoW token is right now on fuck, what is it? Let me find out how much it is. Let me log into MOP and see how much the WoW token is. I would assume it's like probably like 13k, 15k maybe. Does anybody know gold cap and MOP right now? Come on, bitch, log in, go faster. Dude, my OG warrior. Oh, man. My OG 2019 classic World of Warcraft warrior. I can show you guys something that Kath does not have, and she probably won't get. It probably won't happen. You know, I like the classic world. I don't like the balancing. And what else? No mechanics in raids. It's boring. I don't like both of those things. And I feel like the way classes play are not fun either. They need more depth to them. I have a pair of gloves in there. Tauren Druid. My very first character was a Night Elf Druid. Let me see how much the WoW token is. 17k right now. 17k. I got 9 gold. Wow, I'm a poor bitch. Okay, so the WoW token is at 17k. What is gold cap on Mop Classic? Is there just like no generalized information on what gold cap is right now? Gold cap vanilla WoW is produced 214,000. So I don't know if they changed the gold cap in these classic re-releases. We'll just go with 214,000, I guess, for now. Ooh, a personalized ASMR. And she cooked. Okay, I see you. We're getting ASMR out here. Personally, I'm not like the biggest fan of ASMR. I guess you could consider like listening to water streams as ASMR, but that's not the ones that you probably listen to. Times 9 characters. This man has 1,932,000 gold. Divided by 17,000. That man could have 113 WoW tokens. 113. That's insane. How many months are in a year? 12, right? You could have 9 years. My friend could have 9 years of World of Warcraft subscription if he spent all of his gold if it is capped at 214,000. Holy crap, man. Oh my god. Maybe my sense of ASMR was tainted because Kath directed me to this channel on Twitch that was like spamming, like their mouth was extremely moist and they were just eating their microphone. So all you could hear was just like over and over and over. It was kind of bad. It ruined my ears. Never do that again. See, that's exactly the way I felt when I got in there. That no offense to them. I'm sure people love listening to that. I'm sure some people out there love that kind of ASMR. That's just not my thing. You do you, Queen. You slay. Do it. Go for it. Not my thing. But goddamn, bro. 9 years. My friend could be subbed for 9 years with WoW tokens from his gold cap. Be able to find me good ASMR. I trust you on that. I bet you probably could. I'm not doubting your ASMR prowess. Can you guys hear my browser? I don't really. No, you cannot. Hold on. 1 second. We're gonna watch a nice video about Classic Plus. Classic Plus will never work. And I'm honestly kind of I'm on this guy's side, honestly. I don't think it's gonna work. I think it's going to, at best, be played by a lot of people, and then it will just progressively fall off. And that's the reason is because it's not. What is? I don't think you work. Really? 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 Listen, World of Warcraft is a basic linear progressive MMO. The only time where it feels like it's like a sandbox is when you're leveling. And then as soon as you get to endgame, There is nothing to do other than combat profession, combat raid, combat PvP. Those are the only 3 options you have to do at endgame for the. That's it. There's it's not like OSRS where there's like I don't know, I've never played the game. You can't really I don't think you can really compare the two because they're 2 different types of games. I don't know why people do that. Yes, Doyle, hello, hi, hello there, hi. I was playing Terraria, yes, I was playing with a friend who's new to it. You don't think I like Terraria? Bro, that game is amazing. It's like one of the best games. Come on. I have not played Calamity yet, and I probably should. I know I probably should, and you're gonna crucify me because I haven't. But I'm aware of it. I know it exists, and I know that I should play it eventually. But right now, I'm playing with a friend that hasn't played the game, and I'm teaching him how to play. And we're playing on master difficulty. we're playing on master difficulty. I can't even count on my fingers how many times we've died. Master is nothing. Okay, listen, when you're carrying a new player, it's hard, okay? You didn't even invite me. I'm not the person that could invite people. Pookie was the one that had the world. I'm not the one that could invite people. You have to ask him. Should have played on Legend. Wait, that's a thing? Is that like an actual like difficulty in the game? Oh, what? Why have I never seen this? So what does that do exactly? What makes it so legendary? Legend, dairy, legend. It's a secret seed. Okay. What does it do? Dairy, legend. Dairy, legend. My teammate's mom fell down the stairs while we were playing. So my games tonight. Oh my god. Was she being rushed to the hospital or like did he just want to get off to like, take care of her after that happened? Basically, it makes it even harder. And if I recall, it adds every special seeds available out there. Oh my god. Like how large are the flight of stairs? Holy shit. Dude, I'm so sorry. I hope she's okay and recovers. Oh my god. Oh, he's got ads. Oops. Sorry. My bad. What is like a special seed? What does that mean? Who else here has special seeds? Special seeds. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Up and then somebody left. Bye. RoyalWiki.gg. When are we gonna Liars Bar? I don't know. What is Get Fixed Boy? Get Fixed Boy is a secret world seed that combines many of the features of the other secret world seeds. It also been referred to by Relogic in update changelogs in the source code as Everything and Zenith, and is generally considered to be the most challenging secret world seed. The following seed can be used to be generated to fix Boy world. That doesn't effectively like tell me what exactly it is. It's just like I'm not the one to ask people to play. It's not my world. You start in hell. Excuse me? What? Where? Where do you spawn on this map? Like down here? What? What? That's insane. Hey Oki. Hey Oki, you know what I think me, you, and Brando should do next time we play Terraria? Hmm. You've done 2 bosses on Get Fixed Boy. Okay, you can join us too. You can join us too. We're gonna get all the hardcore Terraria gamers. No? What? Why are you saying no? Why are we getting no'd? You'd have so much fun. What do you mean? What's this and why is it crazy? So, effectively, you spawn in hell. So you're down here. You spawn right down here in the middle, in hell, on the hardest difficulty, and you have to climb up to get resources. Like, how are you gonna have wood? You don't get wood. You have no source of wood. You can't. Okay, well, you have tools, but you know what I mean. You can't craft anything until you make it to the top, the tippy top, because it makes it harder. What else? Like, it's for a challenge, Doyle. You like challenges, right? To make it hard, Doyle, it's a challenge. A challenge. You know, the things that want to, like, make you super stressed, the things that want to, shove things up your butt the whole time, that thing. The stressful, super hard challenge. Emphasis on hard. Hmm. Care to elaborate on hard? Something big and rock solid and really tough to the touch. Are we talking about the correct hard? It's like take master mode, but twice as hard. So legendary. It's legendary. Little do you know that it's legendary. Oki doesn't want to play legendary mode with us. Oh my god. Okay. 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 Okie pokey. Okie pokey. Okie okie dokie. Artichokey bokey. Way more aggressive. Wait, it has its own AI? What does that even mean? So you're telling me the monsters are more effective in combat against you? And they can counter you with movement, I'm assuming? Mechdusa. What? What? Your mom has her own AI. Okay. That's no. I'm sorry, but no. You're an idiot. Mechdusa. Mechdusa. What in the What? Large serpent-like creature composed of 3 bosses. The Destroyer's head is Cash Skeleton Prime, and the twins are individually connected via tendrils. What? Oh my god, Mechadusa does have boobs. It has boobs! Why does it have boobs? Why does it need boobs? What? Mechadusa's functions as a fusion of the 3 mechanical bosses inheriting all of their abilities. Skeleton Prime attacks using its arms, the twins attack with their respective patterns, and the Destroyer and the Probe shoot lasers. So only the Destroyer and the Probes shoot lasers? These don't shoot lasers? They just come in at you with melee? Huh. Waffles Iron. What? What is this? Can't wait for the next Terraria update. What is the next Terraria update? We do with Waffle Iron. Waffle time. Okay, okay. Respectful item for a YouTuber. Paying homage to the content creators. Very nice. The Waffle Iron is a hard mode sword. It shoots waffle projectiles once per swing. Ooh. What? Yo, they bounce too. What? That's so cool. This is like a specific weapon only to this thing. I think, right? 50 melee damage. That's cool. That's really cool. So this was a constructed seed made by the game devs, right? This wasn't like a fan seed or anything. I don't think that would be possible. No. So obviously, yeah, it's yeah. It's an official seed. Yes. Upcoming features. They have wiki pages for that. What the fuck? Metroid trailer update. Crossover content with Roguelite, Metroidvania inspired action platforming game Dead Cells, and crossover content between Pal World. Okay, so this isn't out yet then, okay? I thought this was already out because Pal World had their little thing they had, right? I thought this was this was out. This was not out? Huh. Any outfit of Beheaded. They're finalizing it still? Okay. The Flint, melee weapon, Killing Deck, Mushroom Boy Minion, Barnacle Sentry, Swarm, Ram Rune, Wings of the Crow. What is this? Is this something from Dead Cells? I've never played Dead Cells, but I think one of my friends has played Dead Cells. A whip dropped by the Moon Lord. Ooh, a whip? Stardust themed whip. They're adding a bunch of more whips for summoners. That's good. So there's like a very small few of whips that they could actually use, if I remember correctly. I'm waiting for my next Terraria playthrough for 1.4.5. When is this slated to come out exactly? Who the hell knows? I mean, all this stuff is cool. Like, I love the game. Terraria is a great game. So is Minecraft. Minecraft's also a great game. But Minecraft modded is better than normal Minecraft, because normal Minecraft is kind of slacking. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna change the title to Reacting to Classic Plus video. Will it work? Question mark. Who's ready to find out if Classic Plus actually works? I want to play a create mod pack in the sky. So then Skyblock with create? I think. Isn't that a thing already? There's new posts from August 28th. Okay, so there, bro, you gotta love when devs are staying in communication with the damn community. Something World of Warcraft could actually take and improve on and do that. Because I don't even think World of Warcraft has a community manager anymore anyway. Why do they not have a community manager? What is Blizzard doing? Can Blizzard hire a community manager so we can actually, I don't know, get updates on things and what's happening in the space? Because classic World of Warcraft right now is like abandonware. There's nothing being announced. There's nothing happening. It's just a re-release of the same game we played like for the 7th time, and Mist of Pandaria is the only thing that's being updated properly. And you wonder why people are pissed right now in the community. Especially with Turtle Wild getting taken down and Epoch getting taken down. Okay, they're not getting taken down, but they're being sued. Sued is the good, yeah, they're being sued. Dead game. I mean, you're not wrong. It's effectively abandonware. It's dead. It's gone. Classic WoW has fallen off a giant hill. And it's sad, because it's my favorite version of the game. And all they need to do is they should have had a Classic Plus ready when they released Anniversary. But they didn't, so whatever, I guess, right? So we're going to effectively watch this video and find out why Classic Plus will probably not work. Retail WoW is following on the downhill route. Actually, I honestly don't think retail is. I think retail is for the specific niche gamer that wants to just come home and play a game. And they're also adding, yet again, another really effective, good way for people to play the game other than having to raid or PvP. It's essentially just like another version of transmog, which is player housing. Like, transmog is already a huge thing, and there's already a vast, huge player base on transmog. It's not a niche gamer. What did I say, niche? I didn't say niche. Did I say niche? I don't remember saying niche. Did I say niche? If I said niche, then I probably didn't mean to say niche. Yeah, I didn't mean to say niche. That's the gamer that plays retail. They just want to come home and play the game. They don't want anything else to deal with. They don't want to have like fucking taking 20 years to level. They don't enjoy leveling. Those kind of people don't like leveling. They don't care about leveling. But yeah, like retail WoW has way more ways to play the game than Classic does. And that's like, honestly, retail is more of a sandbox game than Classic WoW is. If you actually indulge in the sandbox stuff on retail. Which is kind of crazy to say. Don't get me wrong, there's parts of retail that are absolutely theme park related. But if you're playing with the right people, if you're like on Moonguard or something, it's effectively a sandbox game now. Like you're using the whole world because that's an RP server. But what I was saying is that retail WoW has more ways to play the game. Transmog is huge. Player housing is about to be huge. There's about to be dedicated content creators to only player housing. Like I'm calling it right now. There's just going to be dedicated players. It's just only player housing. They're only going to be playing player housing. That is all they're going to do. That's it. The whole game for them.
I don't think Blizzard knows what Classic Plus is.
I don't even think the people that want it know what Classic Plus even is. Just adding only raids and new leveling zones, and that being the only thing they add for Classic Plus is not Classic Plus. Honestly, I'm a very creative person. I like player housing. I'm gonna have a great time with player housing. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be doing that on and off. It's gonna be a fun thing. There will be like FFXIV where no one gives a shit. But the problem is with FFXIV is you have to like literally camp a house plot, and you have to have the amount of money to buy it. That's not the case in WoW. You can literally just buy a plot off the rip. And a lot of people do care in FF. There's literally like people that make like strip clubs, fucking gambling rings in there too, and then like other RP related buildings. It's a big thing. It's a huge thing. Am I getting resident sleepered because I'm just chilling, just chatting because I don't want to play a game? What's that? Why? Why are you resident sleepering me, Mr. Jose? You want to tell me why? Huh? Huh? Right, back to the video.
In fact, I don't even think World of Warcraft players know what Classic Plus
No, they
is,
don't.
what
They
it
really don't.
could
I come in and he is just yapping about player housing. Why can't I yap? Can't I yap? You want to use the pink pot instead of the purple pot? Honestly, that's probably going to happen. I'm just gonna be like, guys, what do you think the pink pot or the purple pot looks better here against this shelf? I honestly can't decide. We should poll it. Poll it. Put the poll up. Poll up right now. Which pot's better?
or should look like, whether it'll deliver leveling
Classic
focused
WoW
content
players do
or
not
just
know
be a
what
gear
Classic Plus
treadmill
looks
for the
like.
end game, or if
They're
any of
they
these
just want
options
Classic
are
over
even
and over
possible.
again. That's it.
Will it just be an incremental release
Interior
of new
design
raids
with
and
a
dungeons
damn
until
right
new
we're gonna do some
power crept
interior
anything
design.
and everything
Damn
from
right.
2006? Will it be zone expansions, leveling overhauls, new professions, all of the above? Or will it get inspired by old school RuneScape and integrate a more curated sandbox methodology?
More
to its
curated
design?
sandbox
But to be
methodology. So what does that even like entail? Is there anybody here play RuneScape before? Anybody? 'Cause I know nothing about RuneScape. I can't even interior design my own chat. How do you even interior design a chat? What do you mean by that? Brother, I'm like an insanely really good builder on Minecraft. I promise you. Like I take pride in that shit. I once made on a friend server the entire bag end from Lord of the Rings. From just looking at images online of other people's builds, from images online from the movie, I made that shit for myself. And it was great. And I don't have the server anymore, which is sad. I could have shown you, but it's gone. It's gone. And you're gonna use that emote on me? Are you fucking serious? I hate you. Oh boy. Ooh. Haven't seen people play it, but I haven't tried. I tried it once and I didn't get it. I don't know. I was not like, I wasn't on board. I wasn't infatuated, but maybe I wasn't at the good parts of the game. I was just spamming cutting down trees. And that was it. I think I'm getting kicked out of the OSMS group. No, man, you're fine. You're fine. It's fine. Oh, dude. Oh, I had no idea that Classic MapleStory was announced. That is going to be a peak banger for me for at least a month. At least a month. And it would be something to come back to as well. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's going to be so good. I don't know when it drops. You better see me grind. Oh, we're trying it. Listen, MapleStory, original MapleStory is it's like World of Warcraft. It's like World of Warcraft Classic. It's a more of a social game, but it's really grindy. Like leveling wise, like leveling aspect, it's really grindy. But if you're playing with friends, it obviously makes it better. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be doing the quests for the bamboo hat, the boar leather cape, the sauna robes. I don't know which class I'm playing yet. It's either going to be Ice and Lightning Mage or a Warrior or maybe even Assassin or Bandit again. I don't know what I'm playing yet. And we don't even know which version of the game it's going to be. We have no idea. I have no idea what version of the game it's going to be. Yes, we're friends. Why would we not be friends? We're friends. Oh my god. Well, pre-Big Bang, obviously. Do we actually know what version it's going to be? Did they say which version? We're talking about old school MapleStory coming back. Which I'm going to have you try. You're going to play with me, Pookie. You're going to play with me. I'm going to have you play with me. You're going to play with me. Yes, yes you are. Yes you are. Yes you are. Oh, what you're looking at? Oh, it's a video. Classic Plus will never work. Which is what we're kind of reacting to, because, yeah. But we're also talking about something else at the same time.
Honest with
My
you,
bad, my bad.
I think none of these things will work, and here's why. Think back for a moment to a different time. 2019.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Classic
I'm back.
WoW
Yep,
just
2019,
released.
yeah.
And
mhm.
even then, the idea of what comes next has been a constant, a conversation in-game and not. And for the longest time, Blizzard has been about as vague about it as one would expect Blizzard
Yes,
to
they
be.
have. They dropped Season of Discovery to test the waters, see what's like out of boundary and what's not out of boundary, and then we're just gonna go from there. They are changing all the quests. What do you mean by that? Making some quests more challenging and time consuming? That's fine. They were already challenging and time consuming. That's what I remember them to be, because I was a kid. Probably that made a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, it's good for them to be challenging. Don Huang's request original MapleStory: 5 Sturge Wings, 5 Tablecloths, Classic MapleStory Classic, 10 Orange Mushroom Caps, 10 Pig Ribbons, 20 Orange Mushrooms, and 20 Ribbon Pigs. Ooh, they were super time consuming. But we're talking about MapleStory, not World of Warcraft. But World of Warcraft is also super time consuming. Yes. World of Warcraft is also the same as that. But my bad. Back
Just
to
like
the video.
Players, they had no idea and were comfortable in allowing their subscribers to relive the nostalgia with a few minor changes, not just of classic.
There was no minor changes. They didn't change anything. 2019 Classic. It was literally the same game as it was in 2004. They even tried to recreate spell batching by causing forced lag to the server. They didn't change anything. It was the same 2004 Classic. You've made a route? Oh my god, he's so sweaty.
Vanilla Warcraft,
Holy
but
moly.
also the expansions preceding it.
Listen, I remember in old MapleStory, like after some certain point of like grinding on mobs, the effective XP per monster kill is lower than it should be. I think it's like after Coolie zombies, it gets really, really sluggish. I think. You could test my knowledge there. I think I might be correct about that. Because at like 57, like as soon as you're done fighting Coolie zombies and you move on to something like Yetis after that, their XP per kill is really low, like really, really low. And like at that mark, it becomes a super slog grind.
Now we're past the original game's player peak and are seeing an eerily similar trend get repeated once more.
They might be really good at 70 because there's like a dense, huge population of them, but there also might be a lot of people farming those. Knob on my knob, like corn on the cob. No.
This isn't surprising. Blizzard has essentially
You
opted
goddamn
to repeat
priests.
history. No one should be scratching their heads over
We're
why the
repeating
active player
history.
counts aren't booming. And now their backs are thoroughly
Oh, we just looked at these. Oh my god, look. Classic WoW 2019, TBC, Wrath of the Lich King. Everybody loves Wrath of the Lich King. Cataclysm. And here we are at Mob. Wah, 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 wah. It's yeah, that's really bad.
up.
That's all I can
against
say
the
about that
wall,
is that's really
facing
bad.
The very real possibility of labeling Warlords of Draenor classic
Oh,
and
dude.
releasing
So, oh god. Called me short, so I'm canceling him. Man can't solve a puzzle to save his life. Raids and sod WoW like it's his full-time job. And honestly, the only end game I'm grinding for is marrying his mom. Okay. I mean, everybody calls you short, so why is that like just a thing on me? I didn't start that. That was not me. Effectively, you started that yourself. Yes, I don't play SOD anymore, but I did play it like that. And it was the greatest damn time I ever had playing SOD because it was the memories I made with its characters. Admitted? I didn't admit to anything. I admitted to playing SOD like that. Why do you want to marry my mother? You don't even know my mother. SOD is over. Move on. SOD, more like sad. Okay. You get Kath as a stepmom? That's sick. I don't want her as a stepmother. At least it's not SOD. It's not fucking SOD. Guys, I'm gonna log into SOD because I feel sad. I'm gonna log into SOD. We're gonna go look at SOD. I'm gonna log into SOD right now. I wanna oogle at my Ashbringer. I wanna oogle at my Ashbringer for a minute. I wanna oogle. I am crying over SOD. I had fun, man. It was the first time I ever raid led. I was a raid leader to some great people. We were one of the top runs on our server. Oh my god. Oh. You raid lead, no wonder it died. I was a great raid leader, okay? It didn't die because of me. I'm never deleting these characters, even if they are collecting dust. It's not happening. Never. Oh, the memories are all flowing back. Oh, man. Oh, there's people online. Holy shit. Look, there's people here. Don't worry, Blizzard will delete them soon. There's a guy. Look, a guy and another guy and another guy. Wait, I want to check the auction house. How many items? How many items do you guys think is on the auction house right now? I'm gonna guess. 4. Okay, buddy. I'm gonna 2. Okay, you guys are completely like. There's still 3,000 people playing this game. Like, if you look at Warcraft logs, there's not Warcraft logs. If you look at Iron Force Pro, there's still 3,000 people playing the game. $62. I'm gonna say like somewhere in between 7,000 to 8,000. 7,000, 8,000. Oh! What? What? That's more than I put. Wow. 10K still right now? Holy shit. Wow. That's a lot more than I expected. Huh. Well, damn. SOD is back, baby. Yeah, SOD is back. Woo! It's fucking back. That's insane. Oh, dude, my hard mode 4 Nax mount. Oh my god, look at it. My sunglasses from the quest and my Mortal Kombat suit from that amazing quest line 2. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. Oh, look. It's all stuck here collecting dust on this fucking server. Fuck me. He's so addicted, he has to. Yo, why are you so mean, dude? This was the best version of Classic WoW. It was the best version. Dude, I still got my raid buffs on from the last time I raided. Fuck, man. Someone clip that. I'm resident next? Bro, come on, dude. Why am I getting trolled right now? This is... You guys just all had your own, like, personal gripes with this version of the game when it was the best version Classic WoW could ever... Oh my... Of all people I expected to do that, I didn't think it was going to be you. Really? Was that necessary? You completely just cut off what I was saying to do that. To do that. Was it worth your points? Are you happy you spent 1,000 points on that? Are you happy right now? For a mid-game at this point. Okay. I was trying to get you to stop talking about SOD and it worked. Guys. Why are we, like, look at how cool this weapon is. Like, how could you be so mad at this weapon was my favorite thing the entire time of this game. It was so, it sucks the souls of things around you. And it also does, what's that ability in retail World of Warcraft right now for paladins? Where it's like, it's kind of like Judgment, but it's not Judgment. It's like a blade that comes out of the ground. Because I'm a fucking cool guy, that's why. It's not illegal. Why are we soloing socks? Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at the suckage. I actually could solo a level 60 dungeon right now if I have full world boss. I don't know if I have any more left. Actually, I do. I could technically solo a full dungeon by myself. Let's play RuneScape? Oh, God. I don't know, man. I tried that so long ago. Why do you want to try RuneScape? Why is this thing not procking? Can I have this thing proc for fuck's sake? Holy shit. More interesting. I mean, to get you off SOD. Is this thing gonna proc ever? Holy shit. How many souls do I need? I'm just trying to get this thing to proc so I can show you guys how awesome it is, and it's not working. There it is. Oh my God, look at that. How do you not like that? Oh, I fucking miss it. And then it does AoE attacks with whole. See, look at that. It hits them with a blade from the ground. Look at that. This version of the game was extremely underrated, and it only died because of Phase 3 and switching from 10 player to 20 player. I believe if Phase 3 was not a slog, and they kept 10 player throughout the entire way of the game, balancing wouldn't have been an issue for raids, and it would have been the cleanest version of the game. What? Is that you, Sly Logan, you fuck? Wait, what did he say? The accident wasn't your fault. Let her go. I cannot do this. The memory is what we shall hold on to. RP! Woo! I know you missed this shit too, motherfucker. Don't act like you don't miss this shit because you missed this shit. Exactly. See, you miss rating Scarlet Enclave. I miss rating Scarlet Enclave. It's a thing. It's sad. This is sad. This should have never died. It should have went on for a little bit longer. I pray to God they at least every Saturday. Oh, okay. Well, fuck. I guess you technically can still play the game, but yeah, the game should have. I hope they at least, when TBC comes around, they let us copy our characters into TBC, and just leave all the items behind and give us a new set of gear going into TBC. Let me play TBC on my SOD character. Police.
What is
Right, back to the
widely
video.
considered to be the worst expansion.
I'm done
in the
crying. I'm
game's
done
history.
crying.
They need to think of something, anything, and fast. All of those quiet conversations from 2019 suddenly need to be acknowledged, actually acknowledged, not in a snide way like in Season of Discovery, but in a legitimate way, because
There's a
most of the
snide
players
way
left
in Season
playing
of Discovery?
Classic
What?
aren't likely to transition to whatever retail WoW has become.
Yeah,
Players
no,
and
not
content
a lot of people
creators
want to play
alike are
retail.
known to wax poetic about the future. All the unreleased content that Blizzard wanted to add in 2004 but simply
Ooh.
didn't have the time. Yet today I have the same issues
Scratch,
with those
scratch,
old
delayed,
conversations from
unfinished.
2019
There's
as I
actually a
did
lot of
back
videos
then.
on like scratch
None of
things
them,
from like
for
all
whatever
expansions.
reason,
Kinda crazy.
acknowledge the fact that World of Warcraft may just not
That is true. More people definitely play retail than people play classic. Actually, that is true. But you know, like the classic people don't want to play retail; they want to play classic. Well, a form of classic spirit, essentially. Which is why Classic Plus needs to. Okay, you know what? Maybe Classic Plus needs to appeal to the classic players as well as new players, because we need new blood in the game. We need new blood in the game. Like, that is, without a doubt, we need new players. Otherwise, the game is screwed. That's all I'm going to say.
fit this model, this Classic Plus concept on its
And also, I would like to say for Classic Plus, everything needs to be unknown to the player again to feel like it's an MMORPG. You need to get spells and abilities at different levels. There needs to be new spells and abilities. Maybe replace old spells and abilities with new abilities that do different things, that change up your rotation. There needs to be new layout of old zones. So take an old zone, revamp it, make it look different, change the layout, keep some things that are similar, so you know it's similar to the classic player. Make leveling routes completely different, change abilities on mobs. What else? Change layouts of all the dungeons. Every dungeon needs to be changed. There needs to add either something new to it or change the layout effectively. There needs to also be mechanics in these dungeons, not just standing and hitting things. Everything needs to be unknown to the player. And Wowhead needs to fuck off for at least a month to two before they start releasing articles on things that actually like, have guides for people. Wowhead needs to fuck off.
surface implementation looks fairly simple, right? This worked, so do more of it.
Let's just need to
why
get
did
Zar and
this
Pika
work?
to buy
In a
in to
few of
bring
my
Sod
videos,
back.
I said that Classic, the
fuck, nah.
original, still holds up today because of the emergent gameplay that it birthed. From Dire Maul tributes to guild collusions and world buff orchestration, as
collusions,
well as the simpler
woo!
things like lining up to wait for mob spawns and random pickup groups to raid a knoll camp. The leveling experience is the best in any theme park MMO.
Yes, it is. The leveling experience in Classic World of Warcraft is effectively the best version of leveling. But if you've done it so many times, it gets old. Which is why I said what I said. It needs to be new and it needs to feel fresh. New zones, revamp old zones, add new quests, new rewards, new mechanics to mobs in the outside world.
Ever, and the interpersonal connections forged in the fires of tedious Molten Core runs were unlike anything in the genre.
Molten
back
Snore.
then, and as 2019
Me, 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 me.
proved, still today. But if there's anything that Blizzard has fundamentally lacked the
Why does this game look appealing? I don't understand this. Does this look fun to you, Pookie? Do you really want to play this? Like, do you have like an MMO itch, and this is the itch right here? I don't get it. I don't understand why people like this game. Maybe I'm just stupid. That's why. I don't know. I just like when I tried it, it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't hitting the itch in my brain.
Capacity to acknowledge, let alone replicate, is that emergence. Blizzard is compulsively obsessed.
It wasn't
with balancing
effective
out
on my
every single
Tism Noodle.
aspect of player-driven creativity and labeling it an exploit. Dire Maul runs would not exist in any version of WoW other than Classic and maybe TBC. I don't want to make this video about all the pitfalls of time-gated slop bullshit plaguing retail WoW's otherwise exceptional gameplay, so let's instead mention the fact that
Retail WoW does have exceptional gameplay, but it has other problems that people are just like overlooking, pretty much.
Season of Discovery was closer in philosophy
Like class play on retail, mwah, mint, very good. Everything's always balanced within at least like 5% of each class. Even if people are mad that their class is not performing, you're still technically within 5% of most classes, so why does it even matter at that point? Like you sad paladins that closed your Discord for a 5% damage buff in retail was insane. You're crazy.
to retail than it was to Classic. The gameplay was still Classic WoW, sort of. They had some creative ideas for class design and some not so creative shoehorning of abilities from future expansions.
Okay, listen. This is like a common misconception with like SOD class design. Yes, on paper, when you're looking from the outside in to the classes, they're just reusing old abilities and procs from other expansions. And people, for some reason, thought there was like more than 5 to 6 buttons to press for your class, when that was not the case, because most of the runes were all passives anyway. Most classes rotations were within the range of like 3 to 4 buttons still. And the best part is that every phase we moved on to, the meta would shift. There would be a different class at the top. There would be a slight change in your rotation because there was different priorities. And then once you got to Molten Core, the set bonuses for each spec were unique. Every single one of them were unique. Like I remember for like Paladins, there was like a seal stacking thing you could do. You could either be seal stacking, you could be seal twisting, or you could be what was the other one called? I can't remember what it was called. Exodus. There was 3 ways to play Ret Paladin. Where do you get that in any other version of World of Warcraft? You don't, because it only happened in Season of Discovery. You had 3 ways to play Ret. Same goes for Rogue. You had 3 ways to play Rogue. You could be Backstab, you could be Saber Slash, or you could be Mutilate. And I think they should continue with that and carry it forward into Classic Plus for maybe every spec or every version or every spec of like DPS at least. But that might be hard for some classes. But I mean, like they did a good job with their tier sets. So, yes, some people probably hated theirs. I think Ferals hated theirs because what was it? Fuck. What did they do? They glorified Shred and Rake at some point, and people did not like that. They didn't like it. There's some cases where it was bad, but most cases it wasn't.
Dungeons as raids,
It was
which
really good.
neat, and they incrementally released the game with specific level brackets in mind. On one
The level brackets were bad. I know why they were there, but they were really bad. Really bad. Don't do that ever again.
hand, this replicated the classic beta they claim to be inspired by, but on the other, it is more closely aligned to expansion launches. The level cap increases, the amount of leveling to do is very, very minimal and quick, with tons of catch-up mechanics to make sure that you're never more than a dozen hours away from doing the single new raid available with your friends for like a few weeks before fading back into the brush like Homer Simpson, only to return back for the next expansion.
Yeah, no, this I did not like. I didn't like the
fun
leveling brackets. It was
experiment
bad.
and just about as inconsequential as anything else in WoW, considering
Fun
most
experiment
people
is a
playing it knew
stretch.
their beloved characters would be prone to rotting on these servers after a year had passed. Or maybe they'd give you the honor of transferring them to whatever incarnation of classic
What
they
happens
deemed
to my
acceptable.
characters?
But now
This
it's
was
over.
like the most common question during SOD is what happens to my characters. And the answer to that was it collects dust for all eternity.
And Blizzard needs to, for the first time in a long time, have the difficult conversation of vision and philosophy. What is Classic Plus as a project? It can't just be another iffy year of throwing half-baked ideas patchworked together by a tiny development team and seeing what sticks.
When can we just get an effective poll that people can vote within the community for things they want to add, instead of these shitty surveys that don't even go out to every player in the game? Why don't we just have polls? Where are the polls? Let's release a Classic Plus with new zones, new dungeons, new raids, new things to do, and then have polls to effectively increase the lifespan of the game with ideas that they would want to pitch to us. You know, it'd be pretty simple
Especially
now.
when backed by the ever-concerning reality that all of it may be deleted and forgotten. After all, an MMORPG is a promise of persistence. It's the understanding that you are expected to put in a lot of time doing something and not have that time be devalued by future updates or game closures. Now today, that's not so much the case, as MMOs have become as fleeting as
testing Legion
Diablo
Remix.
seasons. But I think
I mean, from what I looked at with the changes with Legion Remix, they were actually pretty good. So, you know, test away and help us, please, to make it even better than what it is now. That's your job. You are to make Legion Remix fun, not bullshit. Thank you.
WoW players were
Thank you
reminded
for
of
your
what an
PTR
MMO
service, sir.
actually feels like
Hoorah.
by having to exist in a version of their beloved world that
This
wasn't
new world? What is
perverted
this?
by some modern design sensibilities. For the first time, some players were able to experience what having player agency
Don't look at
feels
the
like.
meme
I
channel
think
in
the
Discord. Now you're
eye-opening
actually
moment
making
for
me
a
want
lot
to
of
look at the
those
meme channel in
experiencing
Discord.
Classic for the first
That was
time
Black
wasn't
Desert?
some general
Never
realization
played that
of
game.
exploration or simple classes, but the broader understanding that at one point, Azeroth felt like an actual place, somewhere to exist in rather than log into. Now, I don't
Okay.
want to just let that semi-meaningless
buddy.
phrase sit there, so let me elaborate as bluntly
Brother,
as I can.
what the fuck is
This
that?
was, in part, because it was grindier, more long-term, and demanded
gotta
you spend
acknowledge
your
it.
time playing rather than logging on Reddit and complaining about how much you need to play. Sometime in the next
Oh my god, level 1 to 60 takes me like a whole month. Please, Blizzard. Oh. And then they go buy a mage boost. I need a borrowed mage boost, please.
20
Borrowed mage
years,
boost.
there was a player and developer driven realization that MMOs, which require a lot of time, effort, and commitment, are actually bad. Eventually, due to this, we landed where we are today with retail, and quite
Actually, yeah, that's like the argument now, is that if they don't respect your time, then it's a bad game. Which is... That's like a true thing, but not really at the same time. Because you can't just expect everything to be handed to you in a way. Which is what I kind of feel like the MMO RPG community is kind of like, you know, expecting nowadays, is to be expected handed everything. A good example of that was the release of the Scarlet Enclave raid. Everyone was expecting to steamroll the raid day one. That did not happen. People got butthurt, and death threats to the people that made it, and they were effectively asking for them to nerf it to the ground to where it was not fun. So yeah, that was that was a thing.
frankly, most of the genre, where MMOs have become
They expect everything on a poo-poo platter for them.
jobs, not because they demand 8 hours a day, but because they meticulously curate how long you can and can't play and earn something from that play. And the few MMOs that don't feel this way, such as old school RuneScape, that give their players the agency to set their own goals and spend dozens, hundreds, thousands of hours to achieve them without ever devaluing those achievements with future content, have been seeing a major resurgence. In a funny
I did kind of feel that way when I did play old school RuneScape. I didn't know what I was doing, but there wasn't like any like rush or push to be at a quote unquote end game, because I don't really think there is actually an effective end game for this game. But that's the one good thing this game has going for it, is you can literally do whatever you want and not feel the pressure of like the meta or whatever. I
Anyway,
don't know what you call
Classic
it.
WoW's success kind of laid the groundwork for that. The broad realization that this genre exists as time does. It is as inextricably bonded to the concept of giving it your time as you would anything in the real world. There's a reason MMOs were synonymous with Second Lives, not because you could play a character, but because you genuinely needed to be that character, spend time as them.
You
That's
must
why
be
it's
the
massive. That's
adventurer
why
you
it's
are set up to be.
multiplayer, and that's why it's online. That's why there are open worlds and hundreds of things to do in them, and why of all video game genres, it's the one that had the most people form faceless relationships with one another through. Finally, whether you have 1 or 10 hours a day to invest, you want your investment to mean something. While Classic WoW provided that initially, now we're back in that questionable limbo of where the hell are we going? A lack of reassurance is
It doesn't provide that anymore because all you do at max level is raid and PvP. That's it.
an MMO non-starter. That's why people are hesitant to jump back into a dying game, because why should you invest thousands of hours into something that is on the precipice of non-existence?
Yo, wait, this game has
Thankfully,
more
we have
mechanics
the
than Classic
players to
WoW
give some
does.
feedback.
What the
Unfortunately,
fuck?
to create a good game, you need agile, responsive, intelligent developers to take in that feedback and synthesize a correct answer. If game design was as easy as just implementing player feedback, then making games would be so unfathomably simple philosophically. But it's not. And as I said in a prior video, players are like patients at a hospital. They know when something is wrong, but they may not know how to cure it. Players know something is wrong. Very
They know something is wrong, but in this case, they think they know how to fix it. They really don't, because they just talk so much shit.
very
Classic WoW
wrong.
community is
And
so
now
bad,
they
man.
are saying all kinds
so
of
bad.
stuff in an attempt to cure it, because as a hospital
Oh, okay,
or
well,
a
you know that-
doctor, Blizzard has been dead silent
That makes sense.
for years. They have
Well, he
been
said that.
leaving us
Never
on
mind, I take it
red,
back what I
and
said.
we're dying over here. So while we have that one Classic Plus survey and the vague assurance that maybe it'll happen eventually, the more important question is, what will happen eventually?
Please, for the love of God, no 40-man raids. Please, 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 no 40-mans, no 40-mans, no 40-mans, no 40-mans.
How will it happen eventually? What is Classic Plus to you? The easiest and most common response is it's just more classic, more dungeons,
classic.
more raids, more endgame content, maybe a few unfinished zones in the original game, and that's sort of it. This will only work in the short term. This is an MMO, and what you're saying Blizzard should do is release the same thing over and over again. This is both something that I think will kill the game, but also something I very well see Blizzard doing, because if there's anything they are competent at, it's making instanced content. Even then, what does that
is true,
look
they're very
like?
good at that.
Are we settling for expansions with extra steps, new raids that eventually power creep the old ones? Or if you aren't for power creep, what would itemization even look like half a decade later? Would there
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. How do you continue itemization on with a different raid to not power creep? Is the real question. I think that's like kind of, you just give like the same stats that your gear has now, just a different look. Is that what people want? I don't think so, because I remember very vaguely during phase 3 in SOD going from Nomergon gear to Sunken Temple gear. It was not any different, and people hated that. They didn't like that there was a difference between the Nomergon gear to the Sunken Temple gear. They didn't like that there wasn't effectively a higher power creep. I don't know. That's a hard thing to
be
tackle,
raids
honestly.
with no good loot for certain classes because that well has run dry? Or are we going full send on power scale? Will we be critting for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, like in retail? Stats can occasionally be multiplicative, especially in Classic, where secondary stats often scale additively with their percent-based implementation. I know that's a very granular example, but what does this item that gives plus 2% critical strike chance
Yo, I never got this trinket, but it was Biss. That's a good trinket though. That's a great trinket.
look like in a decade's time? Do new items give plus 20% critical strike chance, or are they
Ooh,
still
yeah, no.
just as weak? Neither are tenable options. I don't see a reality where
We're
Blizzard
choking
is
on air.
releasing copious
Fuck
amounts of dungeons
you.
and
I hate
raids
you.
and not power creeping the game to all hell. Not because they're incompetent, but because when you have a game that's purely motivated by combat and power progression, you need to actually motivate the combat and
Exactly.
power
Motivate the
progression.
combat
Just
and
look
power.
at Season
Yeah.
Discovery, a version they pretty bluntly, if slightly sardonically, called Classic Plus More. Other players have realized that just adding expansion content minus the systems and bracketed levels doesn't really change anything other than make more boring versions of expansions. So instead they look toward the single success story in this space, old school RuneScape. I call
Mhm.
OSRS a curated sandbox, as I don't believe it is exactly
What does that
one
mean
thinks of
exactly?
when they think
Explain to me,
sandbox
sir,
MMO. It's
Mr. YouTube
not
guy.
open-ended, and it's not only emergent. It's curated. The developers explicitly develop content to synergize with other content. The skills interconnect, the bosses build on one another, and eventually the additive nature of the game creates for dozens of different paths you can choose to go on at any given moment. While a sandbox is open-ended conceptually, old school RuneScape is more rigid in its structure, and the paths designed are done so, more often than not, intentionally. A curated sandbox. WoW isn't a sandbox, curated or not. It's a
Imagine if like Classic Plus for the first tier coming back had like 3 different raids you could do for the tier 1 gear. It would be Molten Core and 2 other raids. You could effectively change your they would have to make like your lockout like together for all 3 of those raids if you were to just 'cause you can't, the player would farm all 3 if they had the chance to. So you could pick a different raid every week to keep that like sense of you picking your path to what raid you want to go to, essentially. That's kind of like a spitball idea I kind of have. Maybe I don't think that would probably work, but yeah, it's a
theme
thing.
park, meaning the systems that hold it together are vertical and driven by erasure. It's inherently a more shallow and immediate game. That's
Theme
phrased
park.
negatively, but
That
there's
is
a
exactly
reason
what it is.
became
You're
the
not
most popular MMO ever. It works, and it can be incredibly
It does work, you're
fun.
right.
But these systems don't have the infrastructure needed to become additive in the same way a sandbox is. If old school RuneScape content looks like this, a large orb of things to do
It's
with
a
every
boobie
new update
with little
adding a new
boobies.
growth onto it, World of Warcraft looks like this. In Classic anyway,
Is that a
where the
beaker?
leveling
What
is
is that?
broad and driven by your choice of zones.
that
and
makes sense,
dungeons
actually.
and
Leveling in an
grinds,
endgame,
and
yeah.
then narrows down significantly once you hit max, as you are given one of essentially
It's
3
actually perfect.
options.
What the fuck?
Grind professions for combat and gold, do raids for combat and loot, and PvP for combat and loot. You can do all of these things, but they aren't particularly deep or interconnected, are they? They're just kind of all roundabout means of doing the one thing that WoW has always been good at, killing shit. Even professions are all just a means to that end.
It's the one thing World of Warcraft does perfectly is killing things. It's so good at killing. By killing, I mean like class play. Retail has the best class play in the game,
The depth of
but it is technically people don't like it. So
content in WoW stems,
well, they don't like the complexity of it. They could fix the complexity, then we're good.
as I've said, from emergent gameplay.
WoW's combat is
roleplay,
too good.
Open world battles.
It's better than
guild
any other
drama,
MMO I've ever
world-buff
touched.
Organizations, self
Final Fantasy has like the slowest GCD ever. I didn't like it when I tried it. Some other people probably did, but that's not my thing.
prescribed solo challenges for gold, and etc, etc, etc. These aren't pieces of developed content, but novel, creative approaches in engagement driven entirely by the player base and accepted by the developers. Instanced content on its own in a vacuum doesn't drive this. You can see what I mean by looking at retail or even Season of Discovery. there really aren't any good stories to tell because your only method of communication is driven by insular experiences, and any kind of strategic emergence is often undercut by the heavy hammer of Blizzard's intentional design. If this is Classic's content approach, then this is retail. It's as narrow and shallow as can be, even when the depth of class design is
that does
incredible
look like
and
retail.
the actual instanced content is loads more nuanced. The methods through which you're allowed to play are more limited by contrast. Hey, thank you for watching, and a special
you're
thank you
welcome.
to the members who support my channel.
Jello
if you enjoy my
Allen.
content and want to become a member, you'll gain
Jello.
access to all kinds of perks, such as extra unscripted
Baywatch,
content,
Norfolk.
shoutouts, and more. Thank you, and back to the video. So, Classic Plus, it can't just be raids and dungeons, right? That won't
Nope,
work for
that won't
longer
work.
than a couple years. Players will eventually get sick of the same
Try
cycle
a
of
couple
content.
months. I don't think
Don't
it'll work
believe me?
after a couple
Here's
months.
Season of Discovery's population chart, or the best that the players have managed to
Okay,
figure
we don't
out
need to look at
due to
this.
Blizzard's
No,
secrecy
no,
over
no, no,
actual
no,
player
no, no.
counts. It peaked immediately and then
Hmm.
drastically dropped off, even when they added a properly new raid to the game. This is in major part due to Season of Discovery being seasonal. It's in the name, and therefore on a timer,
Yeah,
making players less likely to invest their lives into it. But also because if all Classic players want
I don't
is
want to
new
play a
raid,
seasonal
they would
game
just
where my
play
character's gonna
retail.
be dead by
but
the end of it.
classes are too complicated. Don't worry, you can now press one button just like in Classic. Here you go.
True, one button
Is that
rotation
it then?
retail.
Is Classic Plus
Woo!
dead in the water? Well, there's another thing that made it to the water. Turtles.
Oh, for God's sake!
That's so stupid. I'd be remiss to not discuss the turtle of it
Oh
all. If you
boy,
aren't aware,
the
it's
one
likely the
server
most
that should not be
popular WoW
named.
private server. Private servers are a funny thing for World of Warcraft because they're like harbingers of the future. They predict what's coming, whether it be nostalgiously
Listen, all this stuff looks really cool on screen that they're showing for Turtle WoW. If you really look in like gameplay of like the server, there's still zero mechanics on bosses, and your rotation is still 2 buttons. It's so
directly
bad.
to Classic WoW or the many Classic Plus incarnations.
Everything looks
that will
great though that
lead
they
into
make. Everything looks
Classic
great.
Plus.
It does.
Once Blizzard capitalized on releasing a classic version of WoW,
But the gameplay
private
is still
servers
not
who
there.
did just that gave up their market to a slightly more consistent product. Everyone who wanted an old school version of WoW could go and finally play that officially.
Balor.
And today, everyone who wants a Classic Plus has had some options to peek behind the curtain and entertain some possibilities. Turtle WoW has been a long-running project that sought to bring the most faithful
Ducks!
interpretation of
Ugh.
what a Classic
There's
Plus
ducks
can
in
look
Turtle
like,
WoW?
instead of just
What?
importing retail systems like Blizzard wants to do. Housing, really?
Hey, player housing is a good fucking idea to put in Classic. Don't even like try to like say that's not a good thing. This would effectively give people another way to play the game that they're going to be doing now in retail. This would be good. Period. Having customizable things in the game, why is that a bad thing? Why is that bad?
You name a more fucking
Player housing was also an original thing that was going to be added into Classic anyway, but it was scrapped.
tone deaf system than a fully cosmetic instanced housing system in classic World of Warcraft.
The Barons? Ew! Absolutely
It's
not.
called Transmog, and it was also on the survey. Regardless,
Dude, Transmog is in Turtle WoW too. People have Transmog on Turtle WoW. Transmog is not bad. I don't know why people think it's so bad. It's really not that bad. It's a good feature in the game. It gives people other things to do.
Turtle WoW augments the classic experience by expanding zones, adding new ones, creating new professions, and thousands of new items, and so on. It's essentially Classic Plus in the most reasonable sense, and one that I think Blizzard could maybe pull off. Now, I know that in and of itself sounds pathetic. I think
Maybe.
maybe the billion-dollar corporation
Maybe because they're suing them for all their assets and everything they made so they can take it, plant their name on it, and say, this is their Classic Plus. Yeah, this is Blizzard's Classic Plus.
might be able to match the quality of a few fans, but that's where we're at today. This is again not because Blizzard developers are incompetent. There's nothing inherently wrong with the development team, but because Blizzard as a whole has a
It's the big guys with the suits. It's the big guys with the suits. The big guys with the suits hate all of you because you're not going to make them money. That's simple, plain as put. There needs to be like some sort of like cash shop with monetization, and then they'll love you. That's about it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Is those big suit guys, they fucking hate you. They don't like you.
no connective understanding of what made classic WoW good. And whatever filters down from management or their creative directors is so diluted and synthetic that it probably tastes like poison to the developers who are shackled to their desks and forced to
Hey,
implement
I'm
another
technically wearing an
1,700
undershirt from a
recolors
suit
of
with
the
a
same
tie,
amount
okay?
onto the trading post.
I'm not a
And
suit guy.
history tends
but
to
I'm kind of
repeat
wearing
itself,
sort
with
of
Blizzard
a
suing
part
the
of it.
developers of Turtle WoW. This is
Yes, they are.
expected. Everybody playing private servers must know, the developers included, that this is an impermanent detour. Naturally, the most competent people at Blizzard are their lawyers, so they can utilize this to snuff out the self-perpetuated competition before launching their standardized version. Now, that's not to say Blizzard's actions are unreasonable. It's their
Or take their
IP
assets and use them as their own.
legally, and they can very well
change the
do
code
with
slightly
it
so
as
it's
they
actually
please.
better.
With that said, I feel as though there were ways to create a more amicable relationship with those creating
Amicable?
a product that is at this point more conceptually and systemically interesting than anything Blizzard has made in like a decade. Remember, the people playing Turtle WoW are also going to be the ones playing your version of Classic Plus too. In my perfect world, approaching this situation as some developers have modding would lead to a better relationship.
This is actually like a fair point he's about to make here about like modding in games. Bro, what is it? What is the name of that company? Bethesda allows the mods here. Like, can we just like let people use the assets of WoW and just make things good on their? I know that's probably like a. Obviously, there will be bad actors that will make things like porn wise with the game assets. They already do that now, so I don't know why that's a big fucking deal anyway. Why that's like a backdraw to anything. Just don't allow those people to make things within whatever thing you release to let people use like the assets from your game. Because MapleStory does this. It's called MapleStory Worlds. You can literally use every asset provided to you from MapleStory to make your own version of MapleStory or a mini game within the game. And Roblox does this too. And Fortnite does this now too. And Bethesda does it too. So why aren't we just letting the creative community make things for the game? Just make it an RPG maker. Exactly. Let your community mod the game and somehow like put it within your own system to where they have to still pay a sub fee and they can, I don't know how you would allow the people that are modding the version to get paid as well, but that might be a thing to discuss within the suit people. I have no idea. I don't know how you would manage that, honestly, but let the community mod. Don't take things down that your community makes.
With your fans, but I'm not privy to the facts of the matter, so I will leave my speculation there. The lawsuit is undeniably legitimate and warranted. Instead, I'm a lot more compelled to
It was super warranted, bro. Turtle WoW was like tagging Blizzard, poking the bear on official posts on Twitter. They were apparently not hiring, they were, what's the word? Sponsoring content creators to play their game. They are clearly making bank to where they can effectively sponsor those people to play the game and show it off. That's insane. Like, how are they making that kind of money?
think about the reasons for all of this to come
They were
about
poking the
in the
bear.
first place. Private servers within the Warcraft ecosystem have always been responses to what WoW itself lacked, doing what Blizzard hadn't or couldn't. As mentioned, it started with Classic WoW and now is revolving around Classic Plus. Blizzard's inability to be even remotely agile as this lumbering, obese, megalithic corporation suspended in the air like an impotent bear in Harkonnen has put them in the undesirable position of needing to retroactively mend cuts that have already scarred over. They delivered Classic WoW years too late, and now they are likely scrambling to come up with a cost-effective Classic Plus. But even Turtle WoW has issues,
Cost-effective.
conceptually I mean. It's a very interesting peek into what Classic Plus could be, but it's also a narrow one, demographically speaking. The population that has enjoyed it is relatively small by comparison to the one that Blizzard needs to attract to sustain a full-scale development of a different version of WoW. That's the second, slightly more sympathetic argument I can think of. Blizzard is between a rock and a hard place if they need to create what amounts to be a sustainable amount of content.
All those under the hood extra spells for the classes were bad. They're really not effective for all those classes. Blizzard needs to do more to classes, please.
For a theme park
They look
MMO like
transmog, wow!
they're going
Look at
to
that.
need at least 100 developers on the project. And suddenly, what was held together by shoestrings attached to rusty cogs, lubed up by stolen breast milk, is now a full-scale
Ooh,
operation.
not the mentioning
one
of
that
breast
needs a
milk.
substantial budget and
Yikes.
return to sustain.
Yeah.
It may not be totally reasonable for the executives to greenlight such a project if we want a version of Classic Plus with a proper content cadence that allows you to play for as long as you did back in 2019 without immense content droughts. Then are you willing to shoulder shitty monetization schemes? The answer should be no. WoW tokens, which likely would be added, whether it be immediately or after enough players have sufficiently sunk cost
Whether we like it or not, WoW tokens are going to be added to Classic WoW, period. It's going to happen.
their way into endgame rating, may also exist beside
My bad, Classic Plus.
cosmetics. There's a reason why Blizzard is considering transmog, cosmetic overrides, as a system to include. We also have seen them cross-port models between versions, which allows them to do the same with the deluge of cosmetic glut populating retail WoW. Sure, this allows for some level of horizontal repurposing of outmoded content through cosmetic collection, but it also allows them to monetize it to all hell. This is not a novel realization. They added a fucking WoW token to Wrath of the Lich King Classic, which was literally
Yes, they
just
did.
a re-release of an expansion.
All
it was
those
like 4
GDKP
developers
lovers that
locked
have
in a
been doing
cage getting fed
GDKPs.
hamster
Oh,
food and
baby.
working on a single Macintosh from 2007. That's hyperbole, but obviously the scale of these projects would be different by comparison. Blizzard needs that wide demographic to even consider a standard monetization model. Let's defer back to the initial topic. What is Classic Plus? Sadly, I don't have an answer. I've heard options and all of them
None of
sound
us have an
holistically
answer. We don't.
unconvincing. Adding some new zones and raids wouldn't be sustainable. It completely misses the point, the appeal of WoW. I think adding new leveling content would be very cool thematically, but a huge time investment for little return. I'd love to see new leveling zones and expansions on old ones, but that can't be the selling point of the game because for most players, it's a one-time experience.
Right there, what he just said was the most factual, true thing anyone has ever said about Classic WoW level. It is a one-time experience. One time. It's effectively only useful one time. It does not change. Even if the social aspect changes when you're talking to different people, it only works one time. That's it. Yes, there should be new zones for leveling. Yes, there should be new quests. But effectively, they need to think of something else that will make the game last outside of that.
And ultimately, the third option would be to make WoW a sandbox, or as close to one as possible. Turtle WoW
How
has
the hell
already
do you
been
do that?
leaning heavier into this, an effort to
Have they,
sustain
though?
pre-existing content while employing the additive formula of old-school RuneScape. It may be the only option that sees the game survive for longer than a year or two. But by doing so, would it even be WoW anymore? If we uproot the subgenre that it in many ways perfected and transition it into another one, how much of that DNA will still be there? In some ways, it's like the ship of Theseus. In an attempt to replicate success, we begin to slowly rip apart the core of the game, reshape it into the version that we always wanted it to be. But in the process, is it the original anymore? How can it be Classic Plus when the plus is subsuming the classic? I would still prefer this though.
Mm.
I would rather see Blizzard swing for the fences and attempt to synthesize the gameplay and design people love into a more sustainable package for the future. If you agree, let's think of what that could look like in a general sense. For one, the entire itemization process would need to completely change. There would need to be entirely new systems added to the game, more interconnected elements in its professions, perhaps even allowing everyone to be every profession and
Whoa, 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 whoa. Allowing every profession? Are we trying to like have like 99 maxing like RuneScape with that? I don't know how that would look in World of Warcraft. That would be really outlandish. I personally don't think that would work, but what the hell do I know, really?
exponentially increasing the amount of time needed to level them up, kind of creating a RuneScape-esque progression, adding dozens, if not hundreds, of new profession-specific items that enhance your gameplay, building up a world where you're just as likely to go to Stone Talon Mountains as you are Blackrock Mountain. Adding horizontal
That part I agree with. Like making the old zones relevant to like the level 60 content needs to be more of a thing than it kind of is already at 60 in Classic.
systems that aren't just facilitating combat, but rather act as entirely new avenues of gameplay with enough depth to mimic that of combat. Things that you're excited to log into and do, and spend weeks grinding.
You know what I'm saying? Change cooking and fishing to be an actual like real in-depth mini game to where you can actually like cook. You have to like cut the ingredients. You have to like measure the ingredients, put them into a pot, at like a campfire or something with your friends. Make it an actual mini game. Go in depth with those professions. Maybe you could do it for the other ones too. I don't know how that would actually work, but it can't just be sitting there. Oh, I'm ready to craft this. I get to watch the cast bar. Here's the cast bar. They do its thing. About my item. They need to expand on the professions in a sense to where it's actually like having you do things than just gathering the items.
Without ever needing to touch
In my
any of the
opinion,
traditionally Warcraft endgame. And finally, having the foresight and confidence needed to exist alongside player-driven emergence. It requires such a deft hand, such a nuanced and impressive understanding of World of Warcraft that I'm not sure anyone can pull it off. Because that's what RuneScape is. The benefit of old school RuneScape is that it has always been that, but the understanding of how to harness this has only improved in time. Today, our developers are very in tune with the systems of the sandbox, but only after years of trials and failures. It took the game dying, arguably twice, and being born again to iron out a long-term vision. Blizzard has not communicated anything to anyone. I'd be surprised if even the developers know.
Yeah, no, bro. Blizzard has been radio silent for anything classic related other than Mists of Pandaria, like class changes for like the past, I don't know, like 4 months, something like that.
What the future holds for this yet unannounced but kind of
When's TBC coming? Will there be a TBC era server for the TBC players? I don't know. Maybe communicate that with people. Tell people if that's going to be a thing. And tell them when TBC is going to come out. Fucking something. Do something, please.
announced project. How is anyone to feel confident that they're in good hands when they can't even see the hands holding them? It's a maddening process.
True.
If there's anything I will advocate for, it's to be honest with your interests and forceful with your intentions. We're not talking
Holy shit, this game really does have more mechanics than Classic WoW, and it came out effectively at the same time. Same time frame. Oh my god.
old school RuneScape here. Jagex has had well over
Break
a
the boulder,
decade to
boy.
become agile and responsive to their community, and has integrated a controversial but exceptional polling system that gives a voice to players that all generally agree on what old school RuneScape is, what its future looks like. That's not without plenty of drama, but a skiller, a top-end PVMer, and a new player can all identify the overarching identity of old school RuneScape. The same cannot be said about Classic Plus. The community behind this concept needs time to evolve with it, but time itself is of the essence. There won't be a decade of mistakes because Blizzard's investment needs to be a lot more expensive to create a sustainable product. A sandbox, curated or not, is great at repurposing content and creating huge releases out of a comparably small amount of development time. Because old school RuneScape is long form, incremental, and ever growing, the developers can release a piece of content that will take months to complete without people batting an eye because they know that it will always be there. It won't be deleted with a seasonal update or an expansion. That is the
Dude, if WoW could collectively actually like put their heads together and figure out a way to do this, that'd be insane. Because like, I remember during SOD waiting for the next phase. Like during the phase that you're currently in, everybody's sick of it within like the first month. After a month of doing the same raid, everyone's just like, oh god, this is just a slog. Why am I here for this just to get a couple pieces of Abyss? Blah 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 blah. Can we please get new content already a month in? Can we get the new content? Where's the new content? I'm feeding for the new content. It's like drugs to them. We need the new content. We need the new phase, the next thing. If they can kind of subside that, I don't think I used that word properly. I have no idea. But if they could effectively fix that problem within the player's brain, where they think they need the next phase within a month of the current phase, then yeah, if they can actually make a sandbox kind of thing, even if it isn't curated or not,
subgenre
would
diff.
be
Even
insane.
vanilla WoW, all the way back in 2004, never had this luxury.
No, it
Things
didn't.
were certainly more relevant for a longer period of time, but at this point, that strikes me more as a happy accident than an intended.
Things were relevant for a long more amount of time because people were bad at the game and they had bad computers and they had bad internet. That's why content lasted longer.
piece of design. The fact that Molten Core gear remained somewhat relevant in Naxxramas could have very well been because Blizzard's developers had yet to fully grasp the intricacies of their own itemization. And we've seen as
Mhm,
much
yep.
in Season of Discovery, sanding down the rough edges of item design to facilitate a more linear progression. Now, I want to ask you
New
if just
raid
a
Fist,
half-year
Scarlet
cycle of
Enclave.
patches, adding a new raid, maybe a new dungeon, and perhaps even some overworld stuff to do, whether that be a zone expansion or new leveling content, would be enough to retain your excitement about the game. Not
No.
now, but
Because if they just expand on things in the world for like leveling, people aren't going to go back and re-level a character. Like, I mean, they'd probably go there on their level 60 and to look at it, but that'd be about it. It'd be more for the new people coming into the game.
years later.
Most
The
people will
benefit
not
of
go
a
back and
classic
level
WoW
and
release is that
to
there are
experience
two
that content.
enormous continents to journey through in your task to get max level. A single new zone or minor expansion doesn't add that agency.
Oh
Hell,
my God,
even
look at that
a
map.
fully new continent doesn't add that, as we've seen with the expansions that followed. So when I say be forceful with intent, I mean that you should, as a huge WoW fan, consider what it means to be playing a Classic Plus. Not now or in a year, but maybe in 5 years, 10. What does the game look like? What does your gameplay look like? Whatever the answer to that is, I hope it's not yet another path to where we currently are today.
True. True. I agree with most of what this beautiful man had to say. Eerie Wise OS. He's a RuneScape gamer. RuneScape guy. I don't know. 5 unemployed Russians could keep people happy. They're talking about Turtle WoW. Oh no. Turtle WoW was a very good grasp on what Classic Plus should be. I can agree with some things from Turtle WoW, but not everything. Add. Turtle WoW's Classic Plus with the dude out works. What did he say about that? True. They should invest in some of their ideas. That is actually, yeah, I agree with that. Classic Plus just needs to be Turtle Wow, but official and non-stop growing. Hit the principles of what classic is really well and deserves it to be accessible in a large portion of the player base. Damn, I don't know what to do now. I got nothing else to do. I don't really feel like playing a game. What the shit? Where are the people at, man? Where is everybody? Poopy. Where's Brando? Okay, you still here? I don't think that man's here. I think that man's probably gone. There's no way. Is there any videos on the classic Maple Story stuff? I actually have no idea what patches are actually using for this. Maple Story Classic World won't fix this huge issue. I wonder what the huge issue is. What does remember? Ah, yeah. The robes, the cape, the Icarus cape, work gloves. I do remember those. Dude, I don't know what to do now. I'm so bored. I don't really have a game to play. Fuck. Pokey, where are you? I could ask you to play something. But you're not even here to respond to me. You rat. Bastard. Hold on 1 minute. I'm gonna personally message him and call him a rat. Rat. You are. Well, I've got nothing else to do, so maybe we just find somebody to raid. Sadly. I don't really feel like doing anything else other than just sitting here talking to people and there's no one to talk to. Other than myself, I guess, really, but I just did that. So. And my voice is kind of dying, my throat's killing me. Who do we raid? With 8 people. How long have we been live for? Oh my. I don't even see a duration anywhere. Where's the duration? You're blind. Oh. Almost 3 hours. That's That's all right. What this motherfucker's doing. Look, they're raiding. Wow. Mythic Manifold Omega 5 of 8. Excitement. What boss is this?
Holy
I don't even know
bike,
the name of this
yes,
boss,
can we
honestly.
do that?
I just
pay for your
killed it
HA,
once, no,
nice.
twice, maybe 3 times, and that was about it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Duskblaze, Blood Wrath, and something else. If only I got this amount of FPS actually while playing retail, that'd be insane. But I don't have FPS. I get like 30, maybe 40 at best. Whatever, I got nothing else to do right now, so let's raid Gray.
On me, I'm bubbling. Range 1. Range 2.
Have a nice night. Goodbye. Actually, I should be here tomorrow or sometimes during the weekend to play a new game with some friends. Bye-bye.